What's happening, you guys? What's going on? This is part 3 of the series of my times basically being inside of the Web3 industry, but not creating a Web3 game. Okay, so now the first episode was about basically me introducing myself, reintroducing myself due to this narrative that was painted to me. I had a published game. The game is right here. We don't need publishers. We fund the game ourselves over here. But we was published. We was the very first game that was published by a Web3 company. So we went down in history for that, right? But how do you think that shit went? Obviously, we anything that has to do with Web3, blockchain, or crypto automatically always just fucking fails due to the fact that these people that are inside of the Web3 industry are incompetent as fuck. These people don't know nothing that they're doing. And there's literally no talent inside of Web3, whether blockchain or crypto industry. None of these people are talented. None of them know what they're talking about. It's a bunch of circle jerking. It's just terrible there, right? So what happened? Obviously, they failed. Okay? So now that was the second video where exposing the truth because they said that I scam people I don't even like. So how could I, if these people hate me and I hate them, right? And the funny fact that they hate me is the fact that because I hold them accountable and I tell the truth and I call people out. That's the reason why they hate me. So the reason why I hate them is because they're scammers and they're just completely fucking up the industry, something that could have actually been done and used for the good of gamers. They actually use that and then they just basically just doing what they're doing still to this day, which is still stealing from people, okay? So I exposed the blockchain for capping, showing them that I left them. They did not drop me. And Seth Carey out here, superstar. I'm the reason why everything works. You get what I'm saying? I'm the one that also built the working economy, everything that nobody could figure out inside of Web3. I'm the one that figured it out. I did everything right. They did everything wrong. I've been telling them they did everything wrong. So what is this video about? This video is the third video, and this video is about the rebirth of the gaming industry and what is my plans to basically help from the fires that was set, the ablaze, to gaming, to what is my goal to basically build this space back up. Well, for the Web3 side, I actually had no plan. I don't plan on helping them at all. I don't want to work with Web3 at all. Don't want to work with NFTs. Don't want to work with blockchains. Don't want to work with crypto. No. Now, in our game, upcoming title, Humanity Contained. This is, as you guys know, I'm always working on my game. I'm a game developer. For you guys who just happened, this is the only video that you have clicked of mine. I'm a game developer, game designer, business developer, build businesses, and I put all that stuff, build all my skills together, and made Project Spartan. And the studio for the gaming development company, any studio basically is Hidden Studios. So that's basically that. So that's what you see right here. So my goal is right now, I'm in the middle of raising $217 million. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of raising $217 million. And what I'm going to be doing with that money is I'm going to basically be investing in, publishing other indie titles. Now, I'm not publishing any Web3. If they got blockchain, crypto, or NFTs inside of the game, get out of here. Now, I will say in this game, we will have crypto involved. Now, what do I mean by having crypto involved? You can just buy things with crypto. That's it. Just like how it's going to be in the future. Soon we'll be able to go in the store, use cryptocurrency inside of the store. So that's basically it. Just so we can be ahead of the future. That's it. But other than that, nothing. So all payment processing is when it comes to crypto. But when other games, we will not publish not one Web3 game. Okay, so that's how you instantly get denied. So just in case you see that, I will not help any Web3 people due to the fact that just because what I went through with the Web3 community, I will do nothing to help those people. So you guys will not get any W's from me. We're going to be giving up to $5 million to any developers. Okay, any developers, because I understand how we get screwed. We have to sell our souls basically to these publishers. What I went through, and I hear horror stories about traditional publishers. where they take like 90%. How I mean by 90%? Like they take like I think about 70, sometimes 80%. And then when the indie dev even lets their game up on Steam, the indie dev now owe money, right? So it's really bad. So we wanted to do a few things that's different. One, we wanted to publish and give 40% of the revenue that we make to the indie developer. So we take 60, they get 40%. We will take 30% of our 60% and we'll give it to our investors and stuff, which we will talk about that in a second. Then they get 40%, so they'll be able to get at least 10% of the revenue of all the revenue streams. We will help them build revenue streams without creating predatory practices inside of microtransactions. We will not do that. So we will come up with different ways. But the 40% when they post it on Steam, then they at least get 10% left. So they still start seeing some money. So that's what we want to do. We're going to be funding very talented indie developers. It has to be something that's a breath of fresh air, something where it reminds me of basically old school games that we grew up and played and stuff like that. Something that made me want to care about the gaming industry. That's what we're looking for, like games like that. Like what made me really sit home and play games like Final Fantasy VII, Conquer's Bad Fur Day, all of the Gears of Wars, just like Splinter Cells, games like this. You see these like Tenchu, like we don't see none of these type of games, and these are type of things like I'm trying to bring from the indie industry, due to the fact that I just think that indie devs are the ones that can save the gaming industry. Like because you see the AAA games, literally that bubble is crashing right now. It's bursting. That industry is crashing, and I think that the indie devs are going to be the ones that actually hold up the gaming industry. And I want to be on the forefront and helping the indie devs become like these big corporations that we once loved and stuff like that. I want to also say to indie developers that I will not take any ownership of your IP. You keep all the ownership due to the fact that being a fellow indie developer myself, I understand how that works. I own my game. When I left my publisher, I made sure that we kept everything. So we'll make sure you guys had the same thing where we won't take any ownership of your game. Also, we will not have anything to do with your development unless you need like an extra developer to help you work on your game. We will help you with that. We will give you the resources for that, but we will not help you. We're not saying about to help you. We will not interfere with any of the stuff that's going on with your game. So we won't tell you to put no DEI inside of your game. Due to this is why we're actually creating this platform, this publishing house, to fight against that stuff. We won't tell you to put any DEI inside of your game. Won't tell you to put like any predatory or microtransactions in your game. If you want to make a single player game, we're not gonna make you make a live service. We're not gonna do those type of things like that. The creative control is 100% in your hands. So that's that. We will have where one of the requirements is that our game Humanity Contain is allowed to use your IP to be put inside of our games because our game is like a Kingdom Hearts type of universe with inside of the SCP universe. So because of the SCP universe that our game take place in, we're able to basically put anybody inside of our game. And so anybody that we work with, we will make sure that their game also gets shined inside of our game because you never know, like, somebody plays the basically the mission setup that we have for your game. And they might be interested in the character that, the story, the lore that we also add on top of the story and lore that you guys have built inside of our and we put it inside of our game, and you can make it canon if you want or not. But they test out they test out the character, pardon me, test out the character, like the story that we created with the character. And then maybe they might want to check out the game. So we think that that's a possibility that will bring more replayability and reattention to gamers coming back to your games. We think that that's a crazy way. We will also be selling it as DLC, and then we will split that revenue as well with indie developers. This gives an indie developer another source of income just in case that, after the game is done, the game came up for about a few years, then, yes, you know how it goes. So this gives the indie developer that created that one game another way to have passive revenue coming straight to them. So, the DLC. So that's that right there. The developer gets 40% as well as that. We don't be predatory on that, so it's always going to be 60-40, both sides and everything. That then we take 30% of our earnings and give 30% to our investors as well. Our investors, you also need to know, they do not get in the kitchen with us, so we don't have to worry about our indie developers having to put out terrible games because our investors are looking for to pass an agenda or any of those type of things like that you see inside of the AAA space. The goal is to change the gaming space by creating something new, where it was with the indie devs and stuff like that. So that's that right there. Um, we just basically going to be make sure you guys, you know, I do believe that we can at least create 10 hits, right? I'm just talking from our first start of the first round of $217 million. It was $217 million going to our game, but $200 million is going to these games that we're publishing. So I do believe that at least 10 games definitely will be hits. And I do believe that like one of those games alone could bring crazy revenue and returns on all of our investors' investments and stuff like that. But I do believe that one game could make that 200 million that we will receive back for and more. So I do believe that. But we have 10 of those, then you see where we're going with that, right? So that is my goal. It's not going to be money driven, so you guys don't have to worry about it. But I'm not going to be afraid to openly tell you guys that yes, this is a way that we all together can make money. When it comes to the investors can be everyday people, it could be accredited investors, it could be private investors, it could be VCs and stuff like that. But as long as the investor know that they do not get in the kitchen with us, then we allow them to give us money, because as long as they know that they are not buying like power or whatever the case may be, because then I'm just not accepting it. I don't need your money to be, I just get somebody else. Get out of here. You get what I'm saying? So as long as people know that, that's all that matters. If the goal is to make sure that we deliver great games for our customers, show the customers inside of other traditional AAA games that's over there, that's really want gaming to be back to where it was. Yeah, so just like tell those guys that, hey, the indie scene is, people realizing that indie scene is the best right now. Just know that we are coming with even more polished games, and because now the problem with indie developers is they just don't have the funds. So now what happens when these guys have up to $5 million, and we raise more funds, go like they raise up to over $1 billion, then we'll start doing like Capcom and all those type of stuff. We start doing stuff like that. So giving people a little more than $5 million, and then we'll see where we can go with that. But we also want to make sure that we're not going to be doing overflated budgets and stuff like that. So we're not going to be like games that cost 80 million. We're not doing nothing like that, because we also, as developers, we know how much it costs to make video games, and it doesn't cost 80 million to make a video game. So you guys don't have to worry about that. So investors, we make sure that things are done the right way. We're not going to be just taking extra money from you guys to be doing anything. We can, we get 80 million, can make a couple more games. You get what I'm saying? Which will increase that 10 number that I believe that we will have. So I do believe that we have 10 games that I already have listed 25 of them already. But I believe 10 of those games will make us, I'm talking about the change the developers' lives, and it will change my investors' lives. All right. So yes, I will be showing you reports, all those type of things like that. And, we here to stand on business. We here to make changes on a lot of different things. The industry on both sides are terrible right now. Web3, those guys are finished completely. It's over. There's nothing they can do to come back from that. And then you have the AAA space. AAA space at least has us. The traditional gaming world at least has, because the AAA space is dying, but they at least have us indie developers to come in, swoop up the gamers, take them, sweep them off them feet, and then give them the feeling that they once had, just with this new technology. Just bring those feelings that we had when we was kids, staying up all night eating soggy cereal with our cousins, with our friends, and everything like that. Just screaming to the top of our lungs, just having a blast, playing Halo 2 and all this type of stuff, punching in little minions and all that stuff like that. They doing all type of, they bring those type of vibes of Dead Space. That just these type of games that we want to make sure we create those type of games and bring that feeling back, but just in a modern time. And we would definitely be investing in anybody that's just very creative, that they their brain go to a place that you just don't see that these developers in AAA space can ever go to. And damn sure, definitely with these Web3 guys, you got the Web3 guys. Those guys are cooked. But that's all. That's the 3-part series right there. That is my plan for gaming. I have no plan for Web3 gaming. I just, again, our game is just a game that allows RMT so players can do the exact same thing that these guys are trying to do in Web3. It's just you don't need Web3 to do that. And our game is basically built to prove a point. That's literally why our game is built, is to prove a point that you don't need nothing that these guys are telling you, because all that stuff is a grift and it's all a scam. So that's what our game is about. Our game is basically a very good game, a survival horror, life simulator, and it's also to just show that we can make their game. Whatever that whole concept of the metaverse, we can still make it without the blockchain. My name is Sephiroth the Dev. I'll catch you later in the next video. I'm out of here.